A lot of you have followed my journey for a long time and have seen me get on social media, get off social media. And I can only imagine what it seems like from your vantage point. From my vantage point, how it feels for me, it feels downright crazy. I use social media as a tool. I use it with intention. I use it as a creative tool to get good messages out there, to share my creations, share my art, share my thoughts, hopefully share inspiration, share hope. On the flip side, I think we are all well aware of social media and its effects and its continual effects that it's having on this planet, negative effects, especially on our children. I do not want to be a part of something that is going to negatively impact the world, myself, children, and others. So I feel at war sometimes between my desire to want to share thoughts, ideas, art, and then this deep feeling that I have of wanting to take a stand in a world that says, oh, well, social media, it's just a thing. It's a thing we have to all live with. It's the new normal. And just be like, but why? I grew up in a day and age where we would go out and play. We had no cell phones. We had minimal exposure to television, no exposure to video games. And I praise my parents for the way that they brought me up. I was a little bit upset when I was a little girl because I wanted so badly to play Nintendo and things like that. And eventually we did get one of those things in our household, but there was still boundaries put in place so that we didn't spend much time on those devices. And we spent more time playing Play-Doh, coloring in coloring books, going outside, playing in the woods, ice skating, building snowmen. When I think about my childhood, my memories are filled with the outdoors, the smell of the grass, the smell of the earth, freezing cold from being out in the snow for hours and hours and hours, ice skating on ponds, fishing, camping, hiking, running, biking, and I'm grateful for that. I grew up in an environment that was technology free. And I know that you can say technology has so many positive things. I go back and forth with my relationship with social media and how I'm like, okay, maybe I will go back on again for the millionth time and I can be a voice of reason, a voice of hope, a voice of inspiration in the sea of AI crap that's just getting pushed out there right now. And I think about the younger generation and it breaks my heart to think of what's happening to so many of our kids. I work in a school where we have no technology, none. And I love the fact that this school fosters face-to-face connection. Like, I'm an art teacher, so we create art with our hands. We don't use iPads, we don't use computers. We use paint brushes. We study the arts of the Renaissance. And right now I'm teaching them how to make stickers, but not with an iPad. They're actually drawing on sticker paper with a pencil and markers, and then they're cutting it out with actual scissors. It boils down to me to all about relationship. Life is all about relationship. Everything. Relationship with each other, relationship to nature, relationship with our employees, our bosses, our family members, animals. This whole entire world was birthed out of God's abundant love, outpouring is what I'm trying to say, this outpouring of love. And he had a relationship, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. That was the first relationship, the epitome of love. And out of that relationship came all of us to be fruitful, to multiply, to love one another, to serve, to forgive, to become more like Jesus. Is social media helping that? It feels divisive in a lot of ways. People judge someone on a 10-second clip, and now what's happening is we don't even know the difference between what's real and what's not real. I mean, this requires us to all have wisdom and discernment that we get from the Lord. When you get wisdom and discernment from the Lord, you can get the wisdom from on high that helps you to understand what is real and what's not real. And for our kids, how do they know what's real and what's not real? And there's a device that's in their hands and they're getting overstimulated. And we just need to really understand what's happening and what is going to happen. I'm almost 50 years old, and it is my duty to leave a legacy, to leave a lasting impact on this planet. I don't know how many more years I have left on this planet, but more and more I'm realizing it is literally my duty to leave a legacy, to bestow wisdom, real wisdom, upon our younger generation, to influence them in a good way, in a positive way, to bring them up with tools and skills, life skills, to really be able to handle this, like what is gonna happen. Everyone's gonna come across suffering. When you are rooted in your worth and identity in Christ, and you know who you are, you know whose you are, you have words of life being spoken over you constantly, then you're going to be able to see God's love and provision within the times of strife, turmoil, and suffering. You'll be able to go through those times with peace, joy, and see God helping you in the storm. A lot of these kids are becoming so reliant upon these devices that it is causing an unbelievable addiction, where they want pleasure, they want to be appeased, they have no attention span, they have no patience whatsoever. Kids need to learn how to wait. My parents definitely helped me in that. No, you can't have that. You have to babysit and save up money, and you might not be able to get something for quite some time. There's something so beautiful to waiting, to working for something, to build your own self-confidence, to know that like I put in good work toward creating that thing for myself. We have to grow up. We all have to grow up, especially us as adults, and have boundaries for ourselves, and to know what's right from wrong, to pass on good values and morals, and go back to godly things if we're not already. God's design is the ultimate, the alpha, the omega, the beginning, the end. God gave us literally like, this is how you should live, and you will prosper all the days of your life. You will be blessed. Live with integrity, live honestly, live justly, live a righteous life, and don't try to do it on your own. Don't do it on your own striving. Stay connected to me, the vine. Stay connected to the vine. Apart from me, you can do nothing. I'm grateful that I work at a place where we just don't have technology. And I say this next thing not to boast whatsoever, but to me, it is a small thing. It's a small thing, but it's a big thing. So hear me out. In just a few moments, I am going to be having lunch with the 4th grade class at the school that I work at. I'm an art teacher. I see the kindergartners, the 1st grade, the 2nd grade, 3rd grade, all the way up to 8th grade. I only see each of those classes one time a week, one time. So I only see the kindergartners one time a week. We're together for an hour. I see the 4th grade one time a week. We see each other for an hour, and so on and so forth with all the other classes. I've been here as a sub maybe I was a sub for like 8 months or so, and then they hired me on as a art teacher. And so I'm like a part-time art teacher. I haven't been the art teacher for that long. It's been, I think now 2.5 months. The 4th grade won a competition in their classroom, and their prize was that they could pick a teacher to have lunch with, to sit down and have lunch with, and they chose me to have lunch with. So in just a little bit, I am going to sit down with that whole class, and I'm going to spend time with them. No devices. Not one of them is going to have a cell phone. Not one of them is going to have an iPad. Not one of them is going to have a computer. Nor am I. This thing right here, this phone is going to stay in my desk, and it's going to be nowhere near me when I go to spend this time with these kids, because they need my presence. They need me to be there in mind, body, and spirit. And thankfully, because God has cleaned up my life so much, I ask God to search me, to know me, to put me on his path, and to lead me into ways everlasting. And I'm telling you, like, there's no life that's better than that. My life, just in the past year and a half, has been blowing my mind in the way that God can use you when you say, send me, Lord, send me. I'm gonna go have lunch with these kiddos, and I get to be there fully present because my house is in order. And I'm not saying this to brag at all. I say this because this is the kind of life we can be efficient, we can have peace, we can have joy everlasting, we can leave a legacy, we can live with no regrets, God can make us fishers of men. God can do the impossible with us when we have a heart surrendered to him and we want to know his ways. And his ways are about relationship. And in some ways, I feel like social media and these phones are kind of in opposition to God. I do. I feel that. And I know a lot of Christians, I know a lot of godly people. I know we feel that. There's some evil, and it can get through these devices a lot easier. Anyway, I'm gonna go and spend time with these little kiddos and just be available. Just be present and not, double-minded where I'm like half over here, half over there, half on my phone. No, they're gonna get all of me. And I'm gonna tell them, I'm gonna let them know, hey guys, I just need you to know how much it means to me that you chose me to have lunch with you. Like, I'm probably gonna cry. And I'm gonna let them see my emotions, because emotions are the heart. The heart. This is what we need in our world. Tenderness and sensitivity in a harsh, cold, evil world. But when your heart is tender to the things of God, but you also let God make you as strong as a lion. You're as soft as a mushy teddy bear, but you're as strong as a lion in the Lord. He can send you to do the impossible, to make a difference, to leave a legacy, to cut out the evil and to bring in love, to bring heaven here on earth. And you can be a part of that. I want to be a part of that. And I feel like it starts with first ourselves and our relationship with the Lord, step by step, moment by moment. And he uses us with one person at a time, an interaction. Yep, I'm on social media right now. I made a new freaking Instagram account. I'm back on Facebook again. I swore I would never do that because I wanted to just take a stand for no social media. But then in a lot of ways, I feel like if you use it for good, then good can come out of it. So I try so hard to use it just for good. So tell me your thoughts. What do you think about all this? I gotta go have lunch with the kids.